Our top story tonight, California's new plan to get more students in the classroom by April 1st. Schools are going to have billions of dollars to make it happen, but there's a penalty for not following through. Thanks for being here tonight on KION at 6 o'clock. I'm Aaron Groff. A deal agreed to by Governor Gavin Newsom and the state legislature includes $6.6 billion for schools. Districts in the most restrictive purple tier would have to reopen at least kindergarten through second grade by the end of the month. And if you're in the red tier, if your county is in that tier, all elementary school grades plus at least one grade in middle and high school. The bill also has no vaccine requirements for students and teachers, and testing is only required for schools in the purple tier. For every instructional day districts do not follow these standards, here's the kicker: their eligible relief goes down by 1%.
This is a $6.6 billion commitment. $2 billion specifically for grants to help with in-person instruction. Those are grants that can provide more PPE, though we have set aside 3 months of free PPE, for ventilation, for spacing, for issues related to health and safety.
The plan also does not require districts to get approval from teachers' unions before returning. KION's Jonathan Sarabia spoke with a local union leader, and here's from a school district who says their plans aren't changing.
Aaron, the California Teachers Union says this plan still doesn't meet the mark.
Falls short of every benchmark that our union was seeking. It's certainly the best plan so far coming out of Sacramento for reopening schools.
The $6.6 billion is split into two sections. $2 billion would go to PPE, ventilation, upgrades, and testing, and $4.6 billion would go to summer school, tutoring, and mental health services. Stephen McDougall, Vice President of the Salinas Valley Federation of Teachers and Vice President with the California Federation of Teachers, says the bill is a step in the right direction for reopening schools. He says there are two benchmarks that the bill fell short for them, one of them being members returning to work in the purple tier and making vaccination choice a condition to returning to work. However, he says the biggest part of the bill is the 10% of vaccines for educators.
The biggest takeaway from this is now the prioritization of vaccinations for educators is going to be codified in the legislation, and that's a huge win for all education sector unions across the state. That's huge.
Schools must meet requirements by the end of March. Districts in purple tier have to return to in-person instruction for TK through second grade. Districts in the red tier must have in-person instruction for all elementary school grades and at least one grade in middle and high school. Every day they fall short after April 1st, they lose 1% of their state funding. The Pajaro Unified School District says that this does not change their timeline for return to school. Given our community's transmission rates within our district boundaries, we are continuing with the plan that allows all students, families, and staff to be safe as they return to in-person instruction. We have 52% of cases and are 18% of the county's population. In a statement, Monterey Peninsula Unified School District says they're reviewing the details of Governor and the state legislature's plan for return to in-person instruction. We don't anticipate it impacting our plans that are already in the works to return on April 8th for preschool and transitional kindergarten through 5th grade. Once Monterey County enters the red tier, our intent is to return and high school students April 12th and April 19th. Aaron, despite the plan not meeting the mark, the California Teachers Union says it's a step in the right direction. Reporting from Salinas, Jonathan Sarabia, KION News, Channel 546.